Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed an honor to address the denizens of the hallowed grounds of Harvard, where boys can be boys, girls can be girls, and those in between can create student groups to feel better about their lack of romantic options. So, it's one day before graduation. That's one more night to get that roommate to kill himself so you can get straight A's. You might want to remind him how he never got laid and how these were the best years. Tap him on the shoulder and remind him that his parents didn't come today, and if worse comes to worse, push him out the goddamn window. Now, I may not be the hippest cat in the world, but I do know something about the way you college students think. And I know who your heroes are. And at the top of that list is a fellow whom you regard as the very epitome of the cutting edge of cool. The trends that he sets, you follow without question. And when he opens his mouth, you young people take it as gospel. Of course, I'm talking about your precious paragon of current popular culture, the Fonz. Well, let me tell you this, he doesn't know everything. He drives a motorcycle, which is incredibly dangerous. He wears his trousers too tight, which inhibits sperm production. And friends, if you hit a jukebox with your fist, you're just going to break it. So suffice it to say, I know how your minds work. And I know what you're thinking on this day of your advancement into adulthood. You're wondering to yourselves, what can I expect from the outside world? Will I find my niche? What should I know about the vast territory that lies beyond the confines of my little subculture of textbooks, ramen noodles, coin-operated laundry, and TV shows that seem to think they can skate by with random jokes about giant chickens that have absolutely nothing to do with the overall narrative. The boys at South Park are absolutely correct. Those cutaways and flashbacks have nothing to do with the story. They're just there to be funny. And that is a shallow indulgence that South Park is quite above. And for that, I salute them. But to my point, what is out there? Well, I can't tell you all the correct paths to traverse, but I can tell you some things to avoid. Number one, don't get a tattoo of a Chinese character on your fanny if you don't understand the language. Tattoo removal services are making a killing off of people's stupidity because little Miss Individuality walks into the tattoo parlor and gets an Asian symbol she thinks means spiritual woman, but that she later finds out means sugar substitute. Number two, don't be taken in by idiotic popular songs that profess to be deeper than they are. Last year, Gwen Stefani released a little ditty entitled Hollaback Girl. A few weeks later, she was asked during an interview, "What does Hollaback Girl mean?" To which she replied, "What do you think it means?" So apparently, each one of us is invited to create our own translation for what she is saying to us. My translation is, hey Stewie, it's Gwen. Would you please send me a bird flu sandwich? Number three, stay away from the church. In the battle over science versus religion, science offers credible evidence for all the serious claims it makes. The church says, oh, it's right here in this book. See, the one written by people who thought the sun was magic. I, for one, would like to see some proof that there is a God. And if you say a baby's smile, I'm going to kick you right in the stomach. Number four, always have at least one friend who's a Jew. Number five, do not create a television series about a group of people who crash land on an island if you don't know where you're going with it. Don't just make it up as you go along, because if you do, it's going to start sucking very quickly. I'm talking, of course, about Desperate Housewives, which is just awful. Terry Hatcher, you're a beautiful woman, but please grow old gracefully and without the facial work. You're not allowed to have an exoskeleton unless you're a beetle. Number six, if you ever fall into a deep depression and nothing can cheer you up, don't give up hope. Just remember that the man who played Mr. Belvedere once sat on his own balls and had to be rushed to the hospital, which is absolutely hilarious. Number 7, do not get into politics in Florida because you might accidentally run into Catherine Harris. This is a woman who could stand next to Hitler and people would say, "Who's the bitch?" Number 8, do not wear a wool cap indoors in the middle of the summer unless you are either a douchebag or Colin Farrell. Yes, Colin, I see you there with your wool cap. What you got going on under that wool cap, Thinking about your sideburns? Oh, looks like you've got a little rip in your jeans there, too. Yeah, that's rebellious. Yeah, you're a bad boy. Society wants those genes to be intact, but you'll have none of it, will you? But you know, looking out there into the audience, I see so many bright young faces, poised and ready to thrust themselves into the very hearts of America's political and financial institutions and seize control of the levers of power at any cost. Some would call you elitist, overprivileged, and preening with a snotty sense of entitlement. I call you my base. Now, I can see by the looks on your faces that some of you disagree with me. You think you can hold on to those lofty visions of a life of nobility? Still have your ideals, do you? Gonna use that big brain of yours to make a difference? I'm gonna make the world a better place? Be an agent for change? Volunteer? I'm gonna get a job in the public sector? Sacrifice the big bucks because that doesn't matter to you? Maybe spend a few years in the Peace Corps? Save the whales, maybe? Maybe join the Environmental Defense Council? Recycle? Gonna go and clean up a few rivers like JFK Jr.? Live in a tree? Volunteer for legal aid for the underprivileged? Go to Africa? No, you're gonna sell out. And now, brave graduates, I shall pass the verbal baton to our final speaker.